Google Hangouts. Let's talk about Google Hangouts. So what is a Google Hangout? That is Google's version of an instant messaging, a type of live chat that you can have between another online person on there. If you're using Gmail and the other person's using Gmail or has a Gmail account, you're already set up for this. So basically what you do is you open up your Gmail and you're going to look for this little quote here in the lower left hand corner. Okay, so if you don't see your contacts, you're going to toggle this. If you need to add a person in here, you're going to click into this window right here, enter their Gmail address. That'll prompt you to say add, and then you'll see their name show up down here. Okay. Now I have two email accounts going on here. I'm going to call my other email account, which is on my laptop. Okay, so I'm just going to click on this. This opens up our Hangout window, our chat window on here. And I can go ahead and say hi. Okay, I'm answering back. The other person would answer back. Okay, they would answer back. Fine. So you see here we have a live chat going on live. A lot of times I'll have my students, they'll be online, they use Gmail, they'll pop me a question, I can answer it live. I also have coworkers that will pop on and ask me a question and I can answer them live. So it's a really cool tool on that. Let's look at the gear here real quick. What the gear does is basically allows us to archive the Hangout. So it'll take our conversation, save a copy of it, and put it in our archive folder in our Gmail account. The delete will do just that. It'll delete the conversation and all the history that went with it. And then if we don't want to talk to that person, we simply click block and it puts it on, blocks that person from calling us on that. Okay. Now the really cool part of this is this button right here, and this is the video call. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is I'm going to call my laptop. Okay, so I'm on my desktop, I'm going to call my laptop. And this could be, assume that the laptop could be another person in another state, another city, or down the block. It doesn't really matter on that. So I'm going to resize the window. Okay, now the person's going to get a pop-up on their screen whether or not they want to answer or decline the call. So they'll answer it. Okay, now what are you seeing here? Okay, the left one here is the desktop, and this is the laptop that I've called. Okay, so now if I want to make this one the main one, I'm going to make my main screen here on the main screen here, but we can toggle this. Now what's cool is this. If you have the commercial account on this, there can be 10 people that we can put into here. If you're using Google Education, at this moment in time, you can have 15 people in our Google Hangout, all talking live on that. So let's look at here, what do we see on the screen? Up here on the upper right hand corner up here, that's letting us know that our microphone is working correctly. Here we can mute the mic. Here we can turn off the camera. So here I'll turn it off here. I can also turn it off there. Okay, if I want to turn it back on, I've turned it back on. Okay, we can adjust our bandwidth settings. Okay, here we can change our default recording devices. Okay, and our playback devices, so we can tweak this here. Or if we've got multiple cameras, we can choose which one we want to use. Okay, and if we need to end the call, we do it right there by clicking the hang up on there. Okay, so that's what we see for controls here for the Hangout window. Now, on the left-hand side are the really neat communication tools. Okay, so if I need to add more people, I simply click the invite button and we can invite more people. Okay, the chat, okay, that toggles this window right here. Once again, it happens just like we did before here. I can actually go in here. Okay, and in my chat window. Okay, now the other person sees the exact same window we're seeing up on that, and so you can have that conversation. This is handy here because I've used this tool when we've had problems with cameras. So I may have a laptop that doesn't have a camera, but they got a microphone, or vice versa. They may not have a microphone or a camera, but we can still chat on that. The really cool feature on here is share screen. Okay, so this is what's cool. So this is showing all my open windows at the moment. Okay, so let's say I'm working on my homework. So I'm going to open up my Word document here. So this, watch what happens. I'll highlight this. I'll delete that. Okay. This is what I'm broadcasting to all the other members. I'm sharing that screen on that. They can see the screen. They cannot manipulate it. The only one who can manipulate it is myself. But here's what's cool. If I have a Gmail account or a Google document open and I've shared that with them, then all of us can be seeing it live on that. That's sort of redundant with a Hangout, but it is sort of nice if you do it with a Hangout that you can talk back and forth over on top of working on your document live. Okay, so that's a cool feature. You can share any window. Okay, so if students have a problem, if they're with how they're typing something up on that, if they're coding something, if they're doing a virtual lab, they can share that window and you can step them through of what they need to do. If you need to take a picture of the session, we simply click it right here and away we go. All right, Google Effects, I don't use the Google Effects, but for those who like to put silly hats and sunglasses and stuff on that, you can play with that at your leisure on there. Let's talk about YouTube. Okay, this is open up the YouTube module on here. Okay, we'll go ahead and click OK. All right. Now, the first thing we need to do, I'm going to close the chat window, is we need to have a playlist going. So if you have nothing here, okay, let's just we'll click here to the playlist here. And let's just say I want to say VK Goes Wild. Okay, now these are already on the playlist. I can actually take them off by clicking the X's. I'll do that here for a second so you can see it. So there's recommended videos. There's nothing on the playlist. Okay, so if I click back on here, VK Goes Wild, or any topic that you wish to look for. Okay, I want to add maybe the Bohemian Rhapsody, Guns N' Roses. Away we go. Okay, so what are we seeing here? All right, this is the YouTube module of Hangouts. So in order now for the other person to see that, they have to click YouTube as well. Okay, and you'll notice right here, Jim, there's only one person showing on this. Now I will go on my laptop over here, on the one, and I will go ahead and click YouTube. Okay. Now once I click YouTube, I'm going to see the exact same thing that's being shown here. Okay, they have to click YouTube. Okay, and you'll notice right here, do you see how the other name popped up? Right there it is. So I know on my end that there's two people watching the video that I'm sharing on that. That's pretty cool. And what's cool is, since everybody's watching this, they can actually control the video. So I'm actually going to start this from the other machine here. I'll fast forward it from my laptop because we're actually okay. If I need to talk over the YouTube on this, then what we do is we click on this button here, we push and hold, and I can talk over the YouTube video. Okay, and that's how to use Google Hangouts. Now I'm going to go ahead and end the call. And I wanted to show you one more thing here. If we go to Google+, so if you've got your Google+ set up, you're going to see a thing down here called Hangout Party. Okay, so what that does is this. Let's say you have 30 people in your class, okay, and we can only put 10 people in the Hangout, right? But you want to share it with the other 20 people. How do you do that? You do it with a Hangout Party. So basically you click Start a Party on this. Okay, the first 10 people who jump in, they can actually converse, okay, and they can do the discussion on that, and then the other 20 can watch. Okay, so it publishes out a URL that the other people can link into and watch it through YouTube live. on that. And that is pretty cool. So maybe if you're doing an online class, or you want to do a speaker type thing on this, where you want to talk to an outside speaker, you can have maybe you have those two people in on that, doing the hangout between you and your guest speaker, and the next thing you know on that, the other people can jump in and watch it via the Hangout party. There's one other thing that you may want to check out on there is Hangouts has the ability to archive this to a YouTube file. So you can check with the settings on that, but they do have that capability, so you may want to check that out. So in short, that is how you use Google Hangouts. And I suggest that you try it out on that. You'll find it to be a very useful tool.